baik tu dia jadi beratahu रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, climate action is not second to COVID-19, says PM. Domestic violence cases increases. And sugar industry in good hands, says CEO.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
COVID-19 should not be used as an excuse to delay climate action when the livelihood of Fijian communities hangs in the balance. Speaking to villagers in Ravuni Tailevu, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama said major climate meetings have been put on hold due to the pandemic. Kelly Vadala reports.
As Fiji fights to keep its COVID-19 cases at zero, the government hasn't lost sight of climate change and its continuous impact.
An investment of roughly $500,000 and spanning a length of 212 meters. This seawall, as you know, was finished last February, and its completion could not have come soon enough. Just over 1 month later, Cyclone Harold struck Fiji, bringing heavy winds and dumping massive rains across the country. As one of Fiji's hundreds of coastal communities, these seawalls certainly spared you the worst of Harold's fury.
While commissioning a new seawall in Ravuni, Bainimarama highlighted that this is a common request from vulnerable communities, reflecting the harsh reality of climate change.
While it breaks my heart, it also gives me renewed inspiration for my government to do everything possible to help Fijian families adapt. Because no matter the adversity that faces us, we Fijians are not an easily defeated people.
Villagers of Ravuni were also urged to play their part in climate action by planting mangroves or seagrass to complement the new seawall.
I encourage you and encourage your community to work with our Ministry of Waterways to employ one of these natural first-line defense systems to keep the rising seas at bay.
Bainimarama has this week been commissioning projects at various coastal locations in an effort to address climate change. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The Legal Aid Commission recorded 152 cases of domestic violence in March and 37 in April. Director Shaheen Ali says domestic violence incidents spiked in those months as Fiji went into lockdown and the curfew was imposed due to COVID-19. Kelly Vadala again with this report.
A large number of Fijians with domestic violence problems have reached out for legal aid assistance during this difficult time.
That's actually quite high, 152 for the month of March alone. And, when I'm talking about domestic violence matters where male and female have both come in. So whilst people may say that the number of females have reported, domestic violence cases, male persons have also come forward as persons who have been victims of domestic violence themselves.
Minister for Women and Children Maraseni Vuniwaga says the numbers of domestic violence cases recorded in the past months is upsetting.
Definitely for domestic violence there's been a spike. I say a spike because the marked difference in stats from Feb, March and in April. It's not surprising. It's the trend around the world.
The Legal Aid Commission says it continues to provide legal assistance through various approaches.
We started to use our online platforms, encouraged members of the public and clients to reach out to us through social media, our online application portal and telephone services.
The Commission and the Ministry has also recorded an increase in child abuse cases during the pandemic, which is another worrying trend. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the Social Welfare Department recorded 258 child abuse cases between November 2019 and January 2020. 113 were victims with immediate family members as perpetrators. Sanyani Boiler reports.
It has been revealed by the Child Welfare Act National Database that in 14.3% cases, the perpetrators are either a relative or a step-parent of the child. The database also shows that there were 20 cases where the perpetrator was a friend or boyfriend of the child. 3 cases involved community member, 3 were police officers, 1 was a bus driver, while 7 cases involved teachers. Director Rupeni Fatiaki says in cases like these, children are moved away from their homes and put under the care of the department.
And so we go to court, the court gives an order, and so all these children, including the 173 children in all the 9 institutions in Fiji, they could all come under the care of the state, which is the Director of Social Welfare becomes the legal guardian for the children. Yeah.
Head of Psychiatric Survivors Association Sarah Osborne says it's crucial for parents to spend more time with their children.
The words that we use, when sometimes we reject them because we are stressed out. We don't want to hear noise. We don't want them to come and complain or whine or all these things. But you do not know that when you're doing that, you actually solve mental health problems and bear out the fruit of being the mental illness.
The 258 cases, 19 were referred by the Ministry of Education to the Child Services Unit, 55 cases were from the Ministry of Health, 157 cases from the Ministry of Children and 27 from police. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
The Fiji Sugar Corporation says there is a healthy relationship between stakeholders with much better communication and resolution of issues. Chief Executive Graham Clark says a lot has been done in the past 3 years, with everyone striving for the stability of the industry. Kritika Kumar reports.
According to Graham Clark, there was fracture in the relationship between stakeholders when he took over as the Chief Executive.
I think there's a much closer relationship. Certainly I see it now. After the 3.5 years I've been here, there's open dialogue. I get calls from farmers, I phone farmers, we speak together and what have you, and that's very healthy, I think.
Clark adds, Fiji historically enjoyed a guaranteed market, guaranteed access and a guaranteed price, and did not have to do much. However, FSC now has to actively market sugar.
We have a very long-standing relationship with an international sugar brokerage. I think it goes back 60 years, I believe. And that gives us a network that stretches from London to Singapore to New York and enables us to get really up-to-date market intelligence and data and what have you so that we can actually sell our sugar more effectively.
The corporation is being described as a changed organization, here to stay and support farmers.
So the last 2 years, what have we done? We have an international commodity market price, a base price, and in 2018 I think we delivered 25% above that price. Last year 30% above that price, and so far we're about 25% ahead.
The FSC has a formalized National Steering Committee which meets on a regular basis to discuss and resolve issues. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Calls continue to be made for locals to support homemade and homegrown products during this difficult period. Speaking during Tourism Fiji's Love Our Local campaign at the Nadi Town Night Market, Minister for Commerce, Trade and Tourism Faiz Koya stressed the importance of focusing on developing domestic tourism. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
Minister Faiz Koya says during hard times such as this, we need to support our people by buying locally.
With the purpose of creating financial impetus for Nadi and assisting our MSME businesses, our Love Our Locals concept will enable locals to display their creativity in the lead up to our restoration of our tourism industry, which is also the heartbeat of Nadi and the Fijian economy.
Koya says whilst we traditionally relied on international visitors, COVID-19 has prompted us to focus more on the domestic tourism.
Contribution, ladies and gentlemen, and support, especially during this time, gives hope and reassurance to the Fijians in the tourism industry and the food industry and other primary industries that Fiji will return to prosperity soon.
The campaign embraces the spirit of love in the tourism industry, where Fijians can rally behind local restaurants, tour operators, and hotels to show support for Fiji.
Fijians have been urged to reflect on locations such as this new night market and be part of the solution. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Up ahead, more apply for education assistance. And Fijians flock to retail sales in a show of consumer confidence.
Pula nadang go apros lang kerse, go erkraki,
Do televizyon varong na Radio Fiji One nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji One nandomo ibiti.
The Foundation for the Education of the Needy Children has seen an increase in the number of families seeking help in sending children to school. Officer in charge of National Operations Priya Lata says the increase is mostly from the Maritime Islands following TC Harold. Kritika Kumar reports.
The foundation has assured it will try to help all genuine cases where parents and guardians can't afford to send children to school.
Currently, we are assessing the applications which we have got and those applications which came previously. As soon as we are also waiting, as soon as these gathering restrictions are lifted, we will be visiting these families and villages.
The foundation has come across instances where people have tried to take advantage of the assistance.
If they have already got assisted, we will try to get those assistants back and assist someone else who deserves it.
Thank Fiji assists around 3,000 children annually. Meanwhile, HFC Bank this morning handed over $10,000 to complement the efforts of the foundation.
Although we are in difficult circumstance, it is very important for us to invest in our future generation, and one of the best ways to do that is to get our young people, our leaders for tomorrow, educated today.
HFC Bank says education is one of the main instruments for reducing poverty and inequality. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Two retailers in the heart of Suva have noted a significant increase in business thanks to a mid-year sale this week. Tapu's group of companies and Prouds Fiji introduced their annual sale at a time when consumption activity has been low due to COVID-19. Chasana Nunga reports.
Under normal circumstances, the mid-year sale at the two high-end outlets attracts hundreds of customers, and despite consumer spending being subdued for the last 2 months, people did turn up.
I think this pandemic, good, they're having the discount for people to buy in cheaper price.
At a time when most families are careful about their spending habits, it appears the sale came at the opportune time, allowing customers to take advantage of cheaper prices.
We are local, we got a chance to go and do the shopping too. And now I'm really happy to at least buy a few things for my family during this sale.
Not all were ready to loosen their purse strings just because there is a sale. FBC News spoke to a few shoppers who are sticking to a strict budget, avoiding impulse buying.
It's good if someone has got the money, then they can spend. Otherwise, up to the people what they have to think about it. But it's good, some of the items are quite good, we can afford.
Just going around shopping because I just wanted to do my budget for my shopping, if I can where the things are cheap so I can buy.
In these trying times, retailers have been advised to be innovative, and sales such as these may prove to be the key in maintaining revenue and keeping the economic machinery running. José Nuga, FBC News.
67 members of the Matangali Serrao of Nambiti village in Riketi, Maduata yesterday received $32,600 as royalty for the Naimbulu bauxite mine lease. This is the second royalty payment to be made to the Matangali for the extraction of bauxite on their land, which is located along the Riketi-Nambawalu highway. Eleanor Tarangai View reports.
A total of 779 acres of land belonging to the Matangali Serrao of Naimbiti village in Riketi is being leased by Sinfa Orama Exploration Fiji Limited for bauxite extraction for 20 years. Yesterday, the Matangali received their second royalty payout for bauxite mined from their land.
There's around 32,000 that has been given for the 67 members of this Matangali. Some of them are not here, their money will be distributed in Suva, but for the rest of them they got more than $470 each.
Based on the Fair Share of the Mineral Royalties Act 2008, each Matangali member gets $488. Handing out the payments, Minister for Lands and Mineral Resources, Johnny Usamate, says 80% of the money derived from mineral extraction goes to the landowners and 20% to the state.
As part of government's endeavor to try to help landowners to get some money back to help them in their daily living, this system has been put in place. So the people of this particular Matangali Serrao are getting the money. They've received the envelopes.
Head of Matangali Serrao, Isikeli Waisenga, says the payout will help improve their livelihoods.
The funds will assist most families in these trying times, particularly the educational needs of our children. The money will also be used by some villages to start off a business.
Matangali Serrao owns the Itoke land portion of Sinfa Aurum Exploration's Naimbulu bauxite mining lease in Reketi. Mining operations at the site started in 2018. Eleanor Turangaiwiu, FBC News.
There is a high possibility of a gold mine being established in Madawata Vanoilevu. Kalo Exploration Limited has been drilling and exploring for gold deposits in Virianu and Dongeloa for 9 years now, looking for gold deposits. In a briefing to Mineral Resources Minister Choneo Somate, company chairman Michael Nesbitt said exploration at Virianu has indicated significant potential. The company has drilled 32 diamond drill holes, totaling 4,600 meters sampled and mapped over 145 trenches. Of the 12 exploration licenses active in the Northern Division, Kalo Exploration currently holds 2. The Virianu project is at its advanced exploration stage, meaning there is a high probability that it will develop into a mine. And Alesi Wanga wants to make a comeback. Details after the break.
My name is Neha and I'm from Karavi, and Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fijian international Wanga Blake came back to haunt his old side and sparked the Eels to a 16-10 win in the Battle of the West at Bankswest Stadium last night. Blake's converted try changed the Eels' momentum, helping the Sydney club to its 4th win of the season. Super Rugby Aotearoa has begun after almost 3 months with the Chiefs and Highlanders match underway. With the 2021 Women's World Cup around the corner, Fiji Rugby Union is ensuring the Fijiana has some test matches prior to the tournament. Discussions are ongoing on the proposed travel bubble between Australia and New Zealand, but the FRU sees this as an opportunity for our men's and women's teams to earn some game time. Chief Executive John O'Connor says until they are certain on travel relaxation, they will have to wait on the government's directive.
We have discussions with Australia and New Zealand when if we become part of the bubble, what are the opportunities there for us, not only for the men's, also for the women's, because the women's are building up for the World Cup in 2021 in New Zealand, and we're discussing opportunities for them to play in Australia and New Zealand, but nothing is finalized at the moment.
Alesi Wanga-Paul is ready to make a comeback as she prepares to wear the national netball jumper for the World Cup in 2023. After sustaining a major injury at the 2018 Commonwealth Games, Wanga-Paul was in a dilemma on whether to return. Karatavi with the details.
She's with the ball now.
Known for her energetic vibe on the court, the mother of 2 has not given up just yet.
My aim is to have another World Cup in the bag before I hang my shoes for good.
Being sidelined for almost a year, Wanga-Paul's big break is a recall to the Fiji Pearls once again.
I've been called back into the squad, and as a veteran player, yes, I will do my best and show good examples to the little ones that are coming up. And my main aim too, is to take Fiji netball back, the ranking back up to where it was.
With COVID-19 restrictions in place, Netball Fiji management is redesigning its plan for the sport.
We come in and we're actually just focusing on the strengths and the things that will help us get a foot up. But basically, we're just looking at guidelines and policies that guide Netball Fiji. Ideally, we would like to increase participation and building capacity of all our people at all levels.
Alesi Paul Wanga has played 68 tests for the Fiji Pearls, with 2 gold medals from the Pacific Games, the 2011 and 2015 Netball World Cup Championship and 3 Pacific Nations Cup. Karlini Tavi, FBC Sports.
Fiji Swimming will use the 2021 Oceania Swimming Championship to select the 2 swimmers that will take the Olympic quota spots. Fiji was due to host the championship from the 15th to the 21st of this month, but has had to postpone due to the ongoing pandemic. President Ben Rova says they will need the championship to assess performance, but hopes swimmers can qualify for the Olympics on merit.
We are hoping that, one of our swimmers will make the required qualifying time and that FINA will review and accept, if they've made the A or B time. But failing that, we will use that championship also, more or less to cement the 2 swimmers that will be going in under the universality place.
Cloudy periods with brief showers were experienced over the eastern and interior parts of the group. Mainly fine conditions prevailed elsewhere. Taking a look at the weather map, in the west, fine weather prevailed over most centres. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, cloudy and humid with overcast conditions. Showers were experienced late in the afternoon. And up north, it was a gloomy day, an evening shower or thunderstorm in spots. And for the tides, a strong wind warning remains in force for all Fiji waters. Southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, gusting to 30 knots. Rough seas, moderate southerly swells. High tide is at 1:15 tomorrow morning with low tide at 7:16 a.m. Sunrise is at 6:35. And tomorrow it's cloudy conditions over the central and northern division with fine weather forecast for the west, cool at night. And further outlook is cloudy with brief showers over the eastern and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere fine, apart from possible isolated afternoon or evening showers, and again cool at night. And recapping the main stories for tonight, climate action cannot be ignored due to COVID-19, says Prime Minister. Domestic violence cases rise amidst coronavirus. And Fiji Sugar Corporation in good hands, says CEO. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question, we're asking, will you be willing to resort to local holidays to help our tourism industry? Visit our FBC website to answer. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos to email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj. Share it with us on our FBC News Facebook page and our Twitter page at FBC_news. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow, from the team and I, stay safe. Bye for now.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.